What's up, Throttle? Ever wanted to see a 1970 Pontiac Trans Am up close? Well, keep on watching, as today you're in for a ride. I'm Nadine, and I'm here in Poplar Beach with my buddy Emrit.
Hey Nadine, glad to be here. What I've got here is a 1970 Pontiac Trans Am with a Ram Air 3 engine option. I've highly modified it. Today I'm going to show you guys all the mods that I've done, talk to you about some of the lessons I learned along the way, some of the pain points, and then we're going to go for a drive and have some fun. Yeah, there were about 3,000 something made, and only half of them were stick shifts. So this is essentially one of 1,500. You see this hood scoop, by the way?
Yep.
This is one of one in the world.
Wow.
My neighbor at the shop is a blacksmith guy by the name of Albie. And you know, as soon as you do any modifications to these cars, you can no longer fit the stock scoop. The stock scoop actually sits on the engine on these cars. It's called a shaker.
Yep.
So when the car's on, the scoop's actually shaking. This, as soon as you modify something, you have to bolt it to the hood. So we made a custom scoop there. So air comes in through here. It's going through a giant intercooler mounted right here. It's about as big as the radiator. This thing is good for up to 1,500 horses. That intercooler right there, they use it on a lot of Supra builds. And the air going into the intercooler is coming from these twin turbos, which is a very rare thing to see on an American V8 muscle car from the 70s.
You put in the twin turbo, didn't you?
Yeah, this thing is completely Frankensteined up.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all home built. This is, I built the motor probably in 2007. The only stock pieces under the hood at this point are the block and the crankshaft.
Okay, so let's check out your wheels.
I did say I don't focus on aesthetics a lot, but there are some details such as these fender flares back here. These fender flares were installed and molded in by a previous owner, maybe sometime in the 80s. So we're not actually sure. We think we know where they came from. If you try to locate those parts, nobody really knows where they come from. Everything in here, except for the actual dash molding, everything has a little bit of customization to it.
All right.
I've got the vintage air setup for the HVAC, so heating, cooling, defrost, all works really well. Even my stereo is hard mounted, so yep. I wanted a full-on navigation screen. I have an app called MS Droid. This is specifically for Megasquirt ECUs. And with this, I have my Project Tune here already. If I tell this to connect to my ECU, this is going over a Bluetooth connection to the car's computer. So it's just initializing here, and verifying the tune, and boom, there are all of my gauges live. So there's my battery voltage, my temperature, what my throttle is at. If I go halfway on the throttle, there you go. It's live. You see 50 on TPS here, see 49.
I love it. You're like the first person I've ever seen who uses this app. So Emrit, where did you find this car?
I found this place in Dublin called Kasabian's Classic Cars. And they're called My Hot Cars now because why not? But I had never seen a 1970 Trans Am before. I wanted a 1977. I wanted a Smokey and the Bandit, black and gold. I knew those cars weren't that fast, but I thought, you know, it'll be a cool cruiser, it'll be a cool sports car. And I saw a listing for a 1970 in the newspaper. My brother saw it actually. He said, you know, we might as well go check it out. And we went out there and we saw the car from outside the showroom. It was parked up against the glass and we see it there and we go, oh my God, that's the car.
So how much did you spend on your car in terms of modifications, parts, like, what have you put in this thing?
Is my fiance gonna see this video?
I don't know. She's got a pretty nice rock though, so it's all right.
Right, that's true. It's a lot. It's a lot. You could buy a modern, very fast car for as much as gone into this, but honestly, that's just sort of what it takes. You hit a point where everything in the car ends up costing, each additional thing that you put on the car costs $5,000. Sort of you talk about, oh, I want this double overdrive transmission in here so we can cruise at 1,000 RPM. All right, well, that's $5,000 for one that can handle this level of torque and power. All right, well, I want to do the brakes on the front. That's about $5,000. All right, well, what about the brakes in the rear? That's about $5,000.
How long did it take you, or is it still a never-ending process? You've had it for 20 years. How long did most of these modifications take?
One of the jokes at work is that, people there say, I've known you for 13 years, and ever since I've known you, you've been talking about this car that you're gonna drive around one day, and I've never seen it or anything. Well, up until a couple of years ago, they really hadn't seen it.
Have you ever done anything fun with this car, like donuts or burnouts or anything like that?
Lots of donuts, lots of burnouts. This car is great at doing donuts and burnouts. The last time I was doing burnouts, it was with my soon-to-be fiance's dad. I went down to Fresno for Christmas, and I said, "Hey, let's go for a drive." And I said, "Do you want to do a burnout?" He says, "Well, sure. I've never done a burnout. Maybe you can do it." So sure, I hop in the driver's seat and really rev it up and really sort of let it rip. So we do a burnout, and partway through it just goes clunk, clunk, clunk. There's a huge loud clunking, and we look at each other and we just go, "Oh boy, yeah." So we had to call the girlfriend. Their house was right down the road. She had to come get us. It was Christmas Day, so we couldn't even get towed. We had to sit there with the blinkers on and wait about 24 hours for a tow.
So let's talk about your transmission.
Sure. This is another one of those $5,000 parts that I mentioned. Everything ends up costing $5,000. So does this transmission. This is made by Rockland Standard Gear. I think they're out in New York. They take a T56 Magnum and they just redo all the internals. So this is basically the upgrade unit that guys with CTSVs that are supercharged, Vipers, Corvettes, they all upgrade to this unit. You can get an 800 horse or 1200 horse one. Of course I went bigger because it's the turbocharged motor with the long stroke Pontiac. It's gonna make a ton of torque. So I really wanted something that could handle the load there.
There's so much content that we had to separate it into multi-part videos. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you get notified when we upload new content.
And you can find me on the Throttle app. I'm Trans Amrit. Make sure you follow me so you can find out more about the car. Get out of here?
Let's get out of here. So join us next time. Throttle's driving connections and fueling experiences.